Welcome to Deep Thought. The power of the spoken word. The power of the spoken word. I want y'all to think about it. I want you to think about the words that I'm saying. I want you to think about the words anyone's saying. It's more than just communication. You can actually influence people. Some people will use the spoken word to even control people. Think about it. Let's look at it that way. Now, trust me, I'm not saying use what you say to control people, but think about it. Think about politicians. Think about some people saying some stuff on these marketing campaigns. Think about in some of these spiritual organizations, religious organizations. They can actually control someone's behavior or influence it, because ultimately you have to choose to listen just from the words. Or think about how somebody, maybe they could say something and it can inspire somebody to do something just by what they're saying. Maybe to get a book. And it might not be, they might not say anything big. They might not give a major speech. You might just be riding along with somebody in an Uber or something, and they say something, but they influence you to do something. Last week I had to, I had to get an Uber ride for something, and the driver actually influenced me to check out this particular restaurant I only been to one time to check out some food there. I was just like, oh, wait a minute, there's some good ass food. Yeah, okay. But what did he do to get me to do it? He didn't say, hey, go do it. All he did was talk about it. And all he did was say some good words about it. Think about it. He spoke that, though. Think about how powerful those words are. Words are powerful. Yeah, like verbal communication represents at best 10% of communication. And yes, body language and all that's important. But think about what the word does. Think about whatever the case, like I mentioned, politicians, religious organizations, advertisements. The theys definitely know that. The theys definitely, they will like carefully do and say what they can. In fact, I knew, really still know this, I'll just say, well, I call everybody young man, even though he's in his 50s, who used to work for a very prominent politician. I'm not gonna mention who that was, but he wrote speeches for that politician. I was like, oh, you're the one we can blame. But this politician did a lot of stuff. See, what words was he saying to people? Like, you can like make them, even the power of the spoken word. Maybe like, say a parent really puts down their children. How they doing it? They not putting their hand on them. If a parent says to a child, oh, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're ugly, that child is going to take it into their spirit, or it's going to take it into their subconscious. And I'm gonna talk more about the subconscious in my next one. But if that same parent says, oh, you're a king, you can do this or that, it's very powerful. Like, I think about everything I'm doing, and I have to really thank my mother, may she rest her soul. When I was a child, she told me, it was like, no, you're a king, you can do this, you can do that. Well, I want to do this. No, you won't be able to do that. They won't let you. So that's powerful, and that stuck with me. Like like always will say, they can be your parent, but what are they saying to you? What are people saying to you? And unfortunately, like, let's talk about bullying. A lot of times people aren't physically bullied, but you have people who will actually unalive themselves because of bullying. And that bully might not have put their fingers on that person, but might have said something. But think about it, said something, their word. When I talk about the spoken word, I'm definitely not talking about poetry. That's part of it, but that's a small part of it. What you say to people is very important. What you say to them, your belief in them. You can either break them down, and there's plenty of people out there try to break somebody down, or it can be used as a weapon. Even, even on these YouTube videos. Now, they're not using a spoken word or a troll or something when they are detracted, when they're trying to break somebody down, but it's still a word. And that takes it to another level. But it's very powerful. It's very powerful. When I think about my money channel, I've actually inspired some young men and maybe some young women to start businesses. Based off of what? Off of what I'm saying, off of what I'm talking about. That's very powerful. That's very powerful. Like when you're thinking about what you're saying, think about what you're saying to someone. That's very powerful. And now it doesn't mean you have to be one of the days. They're in a powerful position. But sometimes if you just whisper to somebody, using your words, say, oh, you can do this. You're doing great. You can like do all these things. It's very powerful. Or you can break them down. I would hope you're not one of those people to break them down. But how many people have been broken down because somebody said they couldn't do it? Somebody said that, nah, you're not smart enough. How many people have been broken down? All because somebody said it. Because what does the spoken word do? It's more than just communication, but it creates ideas. It creates thoughts. And depending on who it comes from and who wants to listen to it, it can raise them up or break them down. Unfortunately, a lot of spoken words out here will break people down, but it's very powerful. It is very, very powerful. And the theys know that. The theys definitely know that. That's why they will control the media as best as possible. That's why they will say certain things. That's why they will do certain things. Even it might override even your common sense about some things. You're like, that doesn't make sense, but because they're saying it, because of the person saying it, you might be like, oh, okay. But it's powerful. It is very powerful. The word is powerful. The word is powerful. Think about that. I want y'all to think about that. Like I said, it goes way beyond some poetry or something like that. Because even some poets, no telling who they can move by what they say. But what are they saying? The spoken word. What you're saying to people, what you're listening to now. Now, some people might listen to what I'm saying now. They might be inspired to do something. And I even though it's not my intention, it might bring up something in them, something that hurts them. And indeed, on some of my videos, I've had some people reach out to me and said, hey, you were talking about this today and it made me think about this. How powerful it is, even when you don't have the intention of hurting somebody. That's how powerful it is. All right? I want you to think about that. All right? No matter what. Think about what you're saying. Think about what you're listening to. That's how powerful it is, the spoken word. So that's all I have for today. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.